Hey everyone, welcome to the Ashe podcast. We're back. So today is going to be quite a very serious video. So I want everyone to know that if you feel uncomfortable watching this video or it's making you feel upset, it's okay to stop watching. There's going to be some topics that I'm going to talk about that are quite serious. Very serious, in fact, that it might upset you, but I want to make sure that everyone is okay when they're watching this podcast, because this is going to be quite a deep podcast, because I'll be talking about mental health. It's a big thing for me, it's a big thing for everyone at the moment, so I really hope you guys enjoy this podcast. This is going to be super serious, so hope everyone enjoys it. So when I was growing up, I was living a great life, growing up in the western suburbs and now in the north. It's really cool. But my sort of rough spot was between January 2018 to about June 2020. When my dad passed away, there was a lot of mistakes that I was making that wasn't me. It wasn't something that I would usually do. It's not something that I wanted to be. And during that time, a few months after, in 2018, I was denying help. And my friends were seeing it. Even my teachers, my family, they were all seeing me not being me. And it was only until one of my friends said, "You need to get help right now," that I said, "Fuck it, I need that help." And then around June, I got that help. And that was probably one of the best things that I've ever done in my life. And then in probably 2019, I had 2018, 2019, a few counselling sessions and stuff. But what I was going through was super dark. Now, it wasn't depression. Lucky enough, it was only minor anxiety. Just going through grief and loss, and then, just being alone. And that anxiety it loses your focus. Like, it feels like you're in a cardboard box and you can't get out, and you're like suffocating from the inside. That's how it feels. And it's really shit. And all I wanted to do was to follow my passions. But then the world changed. So I had to rethink what I wanted to do. And that was around 2020, early 2020. I couldn't really do my big passions, which was singing and acting. And I had to find out, okay, what is my life going to plan out for the next couple years? How am I going to achieve this? That's second. And thirdly, what job do I want? What are some other hobbies that I want to be going into? And 5, expanding your interests. And 6, expanding your connections. So after graduation, and then I had leavers, I thought on my goals. And around late 2020, I wrote them down. And I remember the date, it was December 27th, and I was bawling my eyes out, writing down my goals. And those goals, I list them down, I wrote them down. Stuff that was part of my personal life, stuff that I want to do for financial and job, stuff I want to do socially, any life aspect in your life, and you put a date on. And putting that date on is fantastic, because when you put that date on, you gotta strive to do it. You gotta say the words, I can, I will, I am going to be inspirational. Those type of words are going to change how you feel, what you say, and how you interact with people. So, kick off a new year, which was last year in 2021. And I started TAFE, and I did my Cert 3 and Cert 4 in community services. Cert 3 semester 1, Cert 4 in semester 2. During that time period, I got 2 jobs, and that really helped me out. With those 2 jobs, I expanded my connections with people, and that really helped me with my mental health anyway, because I didn't want to be alone all the time doing nothing. And there's some periods where you do need to be alone and have some self-care by going to the beach, doing some exercise, but I didn't want to do that 24/7. That is just not healthy. And some of my self-care stuff, I love going to the beach, especially during a warm day in the morning. I love doing beach walks. It honestly clears my head. Even just going for a walk, even just walking to TAFE is pretty awesome. I don't mind running, but I don't really do much running. I'm more of a gym type person. They're some of my favorite things I love doing, and it's also really helped me. Getting that exercise is really important, and even just cancelling out crappy food and just having proteins, fruits and salads during the summer, it's a blitz. It's an absolute blitz, and it's really good. It's really healthy. And yeah, that time period before 2021 was super fucked. I wasn't me. I didn't feel I was going anywhere in life. I didn't feel like I was achieving stuff, because I felt after 2021 finished, the amount of goals that I achieved exceeded my expectations for good. And that made me feel super happy. And when I was doing some research, I did some research on some mental health statistics for men. Now, these statistics came from a study from Beyond Blue. I really recommend you to check them out. I'm going to leave some mental health numbers and stuff. So if you need to check in yourself, I'd really recommend Beyond Blue, Headspace, any of those websites. So I'm going to leave in the description some of those mental health services that you can look up, and you can call them, and it will be really good. Because if you're feeling like shit, or you're feeling like crap, and you feel like you're trapped and you don't know what to do in your life, get help. Tell your doctor. Call. Even calling your family member or friend and then receiving help, that is some of the best strategies you can do. And once you do that, that's when you find your purpose. So some of the statistics that I read. So in Australia, every day, 7 men passed away from suicide. 7. Every fucking day. You know how shit that number is? 7 families every day grieving. Men are 3 more times likely to die by suicide than women. It's 3/4. 75%. 75. That is the percentage. That's just unthinkable and absolutely disgusting, these statistics. And it honestly breaks my heart reading them, because there needs to be more people advocating for mental health for any person, not just women, but more for men, because this is one of the most serious issues in Australia. Forget about the whole end of the world crisis thing. This is the disease. This is the disease that is affecting so many people in the world. So there was a study in 2019 showed there had been an average of 6.9 men have passed away because of suicide. And in 2019, there was 2,502 suicide deaths among males. You know the whole thing about toxic masculinity and the whole back in the day thing, like, oh, mate, you got to grow up. Mate, don't cry. Yeah, you got to man up and be, keep your feelings to yourself. Well, in our generation, that is not relevant. If you see someone that is feeling down, talk to them. Talk about how they feel. Talk about how their day is and say, oh, how are you today? Or how are you feeling okay? Those simple sentences and those simple words could save someone from going through a dark path. And if you tell them of a service that they can get the help if they're still feeling like shit, that is more fulfilling than just leaving someone to be trapped and be by themselves. Because for some individual people, that's how they feel like every day. They wake up, they don't have a job, they can't provide. That means they can't buy groceries, they can't pay the rent, and that just adds up. And then it leads to other AOD, rough sleep, isolation, everything like that. So if you are a good person and you love people and you care for people, you should tell your mate, are you okay? And that's a big thing while we have, are you okay? And another statistic that I read was over 20% of Australian men have experienced anxiety in their lifetime. And since 2009, the number of deaths by suicide has increased by 33%. So 1 in 3 Australian since 2009 has increased. And there's many factors to this. There's many factors about mental health that the mainstream media don't really talk about. Now, a big thing is social media. Now, I'd say when I first started social media, when I was 14, And then the next couple of years, there was some stuff that I did that I wouldn't do now because I was immature and I was going through all the hormones and stuff, and you make dumb decisions sometimes, and it's okay to have a bad day. It's okay to feel sad, but it's about talking those feelings out, and it's about accepting how you feel and talking to someone about it. The 3 pillars of a good person. And these type of people, the ones that don't go out, in the gym, yeah, mate, I'm an alpha male, yeah, I get a 6-pack, yeah, I don't have a personality because I go to the gym every day and I'm a gym trainer, and then I'm really planning to go on The Bachelorette. No. Those people that say, yeah, I'm an alpha, are not fucking alphas. If you want to be an alpha person doesn't say they're an alpha person. They're the ones that do the hard yard work. They're the ones that look out for someone that needs it the most. They're the ones that say, how are you doing today? Thanks for the coffee, or this is super good. Love your stand-up comedy. Those types of people are the alphas in the world. But they don't have to say it because they don't need the attention. They don't need to say that word. Nor do I need to say that word. And one thing that shocked me was between the age of 85 years and older, 33% per 100,000 people take their own life when they're elderly. It's really crap. And even I was doing some research about, the antidepressants, the anti-anxiety pills, and all that type of, jigger. So between 2019 and 2020, 72.1% of mental health related prescriptions were antidepressant medications. Since 12 years ago, mental health's become really prevalent. 1 in 7 Australians are treated antidepressants in Australia for anxiety and depression. And like I said before, 3 out of 4 men take their own life, 75%. So 3 more times likely to pass away from mental health than women. And that stat needs to change. If you love people and you care for people, you would be the one that would be doing that podcast, or you're doing a post, or you're going out there and providing a service for people that need it. Now, I'm really big on mental health, especially someone that is living on the spectrum like myself. I have autism, and if I didn't have autism, I wouldn't be the person that I am today. And there were some people that, treated me like shit because I had autism. They didn't really understand some of the social cues that I would say. Like I would act different to someone, or I get referred to like, oh, you don't look like someone that has autism, or how's it going? And they talk down on you. If someone cared for me, they would have just spoken to me like a normal person would. They would have just spoke to me and treated me with the same respect that I would treat you. And that's big. It's huge. And primary school, I was quite sensitive. Used to cry a lot in primary school. You know, I'd lash out and I spat the dummy. Now, I had a lot of those spat the dummy moments. And did that feel okay? No. Because that happened too often. But I didn't really understand. I was going through a lot of stuff. I was a little bit immature. It was a bit hard. But where I am right now, doing a fucking podcast, there's not a lot of people on the spectrum that I can think of other than Meg that is doing a podcast on the spectrum. And I'm really proud of myself that I am doing it because I love talking about things. It's one of my big passions and I'm going to keep doing this and hopefully this channel grows. And I did some other sort of stuff, some other type of research. So this type of research that I did is about the public hospital sector, and it's about public hospital cuts. So I read this report card, which was 2016, 4 years before the world changed. And I knew about the cuts, but I didn't know how severe the cuts were. So in this report card by the Australian Medical Association, public hospital funding was going to be reduced by $57 billion. 57 billion. So a billion times 57. You know how much money that was lost 4 years before? And this is during a 4-year period. You know how terrible that is? And they quoted that it's going to be the single biggest challenge facing every single state and territory. And you can see it right now with the hospitals. They can't really cope. And allegedly, the Commonwealth reduced Medicare payment for diagnostic services in Australia by $650 million. Like I said, this is what happens with the government. 9 years. 9 years of neglect. You know how terrible that is? And there was this thing in state hospitals in 2021, there was a funding cut of $93 million. Where is all that money going to? It's just gone. It's just gone. You know why people are waiting on wait lists to see a psychologist? They're waiting for their doctor for hours on end. They're waiting for months and years for help. Is because of funding and neglect. That one word, neglect. And neglect is worse than saying it's fucked. Neglect in terms of the public hospital system is absolutely terrible. And from a great man, Isaac Butterfield, he quoted this: "It grows the insolence of disease of loneliness, and as a result, a drastic reduction of the quality of life. For people that need help, and then what happens? For someone, for example, they lose their friendship connections and then the next day they wake up and they get fired from their job. And then next minute, oh, I'm sick. I can't leave the house for 14 days or 7. I can't pay the rent. I can't pay for groceries. And that self-isolation is another key factor of a disease that is spreading for the past 12 years. And it's only going to increase unless help can be done and more people speak out and more funding is provided to mental health services across Australia. And there's another quote that I wrote down by one of my favourite authors. Things get to terrible places one tiny step at a time. And for the past 4 to 5 years, those tiny steps of neglect is making poor judgments one tiny step at a time. Now, people have their setbacks, and when they are at that roadblock, and there's a roadblock on a road, and this is metaphorically speaking, there's a roadblock, and you go, shit, I've made a mistake. Do I go option 1 and continue doing it? Or 2, do I accept the mistake and apologize and continue on with my life? And then there's a third option, and that third option is I accept the mistake, I put actions in place that ensures that I don't do it again, I apologize, and I move on. If you do options 2 and option 3, good on you. Because if you do that option 1, you'll be going through the same roadblock again and again and again. But if you are in that roadblock and it only takes maybe a couple weeks to adjust, good on you. And this is a quote from a book. It's a really good book. Highly recommend you read it. A Brief History of Humankind, it's called. Power corrupts, they say, and as humankind gained more and more power, it created a cold, mechanistic world ill-suited to our real needs. When people are stressing about a cloud of darkness, and they are in that box and they can't get out, the anxiety hits, the depression hits. Everything just, there's like a bomb that just hits in you and you can't get out of it. When your real needs are to go out in the world, to achieve your goals, to be inspirational, to meet new connections, to save up for things that you want to buy, to be who you want to be. Those are some of the many things that you can do. And there's a thing that I wrote. I'm going to read this out to everyone because this is a super powerful message that should be told, especially about mental health. Hey everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. I want to say some deep stuff, and I hope this information I will say will bring some hope for you all. If you find this too distressing, it's okay to pass. The world that we've been conformed to live in isn't a world that we should live in. The matter of fear, heartbreak, and tears grow when you hear words, but no actions have been taken. If you know me, you know all too well how much I do care for people. And the reason why is because to be able to put the energy to people that love you for who you are, you need that self-love to grow yourself to be that person that you want to be. Actions speak louder than words. Writing down your goals and being able to show what your strengths are is the best things that you can do. And not only writing down your goals and strengths, actually doing the goals. If you want to do podcasts, do a podcast every week. If you want to send some singing videos, do your singing videos. If you want to be an AFL player, be an AFL player. But also, other than doing those things, have 2 to 3 other things that you want to do. For example, I love singing and acting, and they're my passions. But I also love doing podcasts. I love people, so I do a lot of promotional work. I like working at events. I love working with people. That's what I thrive. That's when I thrive. And even doing YouTube videos is a massive appreciation. And this is a message of Would You Rather. Would you rather be in a I'll start again. Would you rather be in a society that wants to lock you in from the inside, where critical thinking is lost? Or would you rather be in a society that appreciates critical thinking, that has a laugh, and expresses goals beyond imagination? The consequences of disease is the neglect of people's well-being, people's livelihood, and people's lives choices. And as a result, a decrease in the quality of life and happiness. And those consequences of disease on mental health plays a big part in the society that we live in today. And people refer it to the new normal. No, it's not. Your normal is your own destiny. Everyone has their normal. And every person's normal is different and unique to everyone else's. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do. Because there's 5 things that keep me going in life. Be you. Be who you want to be. Be strong. Show encouragement. Be brave and be inspirational. And I'm gonna define those 5 things. Be you. Being you is one of the most important things. Because by being you, you're being yourself. You're showing the best parts of yourself. You're showing your best parts of your personality. You don't need to copy someone. You don't need to mimic someone. You be yourself when you communicate with others. And that will honestly keep you going. Be strong. Be strong mentally. Be strong socially. Be strong physically. Go out there in the world. If you want to go to the gym, go to the gym. If you want to go to the beach, go to the beach. If you want to do beach walk, go for a beach walk. If you want to do run, go out for a run. And it's not only just exercise for being strong. There's also social. Being strong socially, calling out people that are treating you like shit, and also being strong mentally by building connections. Building connections that are strong. Building connections where the person actually appreciates you and loves you for who you are. And that's what being strong in a friendship is all about. It's always 50-50. If someone is being a fucking idiot, get them out of your life and seek help. Show encouragement. Be inclusive to one another. You know, if you see someone that is by themselves, have a talk to them. Talk to them about stuff, what they're interested in, and include them, invite them over. By showing encouragement to people and saying to someone, well done, you've done an amazing job. That is some fantastic work that you just did. I am honestly so proud of you. You're such a legend. Those type of encouragement words can make someone smile. Being brave. Now, being brave sounds a little bit cringe, but being brave can honestly be super good for your mental health. Being brave is not just, saving the girl like in the movies. No. That's the cringy part. Being brave is accepting challenges. Doing things that you thought, I'm not really into it, but I'll try it. That is being brave. If you want to, jump off a rock cliff and you feel safe, do it. If you want to do skydiving, do it. Being brave in the world and doing multiple things, other challenges that you want to experience will build you as a person. And lastly, being inspirational. Being inspirational takes time. And being inspirational comes down to 4 things. By being yourself, by being strong and having strong friendship connections, by showing encouragement and encouraging others to participate and encouraging others to join your friendship group, by being brave and accepting new challenges, by being inspirational. Being inspirational is being a role model. And being a role model is super important. If you can speak out things that you don't like, tell. And the best thing about podcasts is you can speak. You can speak your opinion without being judged. And there's always going to be people that don't like who you are. But that's life. But then there's strong people that have all those things, that love you for who you are. And to be an inspiration, you can speak in front of a lot of people. That's what I did. I've spoken in front of 2,000 people before. I've performed in front of people before. I'm doing this podcast. This is one of the most inspirational things that I've done. Helping the elderly, helping someone of need, and just even saying thank you is being inspirational. The simple things in life can bring pure happiness and joy to someone of need. And that's where I'm going to leave it. So I hope everyone has enjoyed this podcast, and I really hope everyone has, learned some information about mental health. And I hope to see you guys soon. Hope you have a great day. Stay tuned for more content. Also, I've uploaded a singing video just before, so if you want to check it out, leave a like, subscribe, and share the video. Share everywhere. Share it to your friends, share it to your family. Hope everyone has a great day. Stay safe, and much love from Ashe Boy Podcast. Stay tuned. See ya.